All right, class, in our very first tutorial, we are going to learn how to create the HTML shell, which is what I've actually already typed in here. Now, you can pause this right now, look at it, and type it in if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and move forward with each one. I would encourage you to have this window beside you and have Notepad++ open so that you can actually type it as I'm talking. You will notice that there are 4 tags right here. You have the HTML tag. This tag tells the browser that we are creating an HTML document or a web page. And you'll notice that we start with the HTML shell and we end, or I'm sorry, we start with the HTML tag, then we end with the HTML tag. Okay. The only difference between an opening and a closing tag is the slash, a forward slash. So that's the HTML tag. The very next tag that we're going to see is the head tag. The head tag tells the web page that this is the head section, which is going to contain some JavaScript. Periodically, it'll contain styles, CSS, or links to style sheets, and it also contains our page title, which is what you see right here. Okay. You'll also notice that you do have another opening tag and a closing tag. Here's the beginning of this section. Here's the end of this section. Okay. Within the head section, we do have our title. There are going to be other things that'll go up there later on, but for now we just have our title. So we have an opening title tag and a closing title tag. I've put just a generic title in there. This is my title. What you need to understand about the title tag is that this is where you're going to see the title that will show up in the tab of your web browser right here. So that's what shows up there. Also, Google and other search engines use that title tag heavily to determine what the page is about. So it's a very important tag when you are paying attention to search engine optimization, which is further down the road in this class. The last tag of the HTML shell is the body tag. This is the meat of your web page. This is where all of your web content is going to go. Basically, the body is this section right here. Okay. Once I have my HTML shell created, I'm just simply going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to save this page. Now, I've created a new folder called Web Development. I want everybody to create a new folder called Web Development, and within that folder, make another folder called Photo Gallery 1. This is the first small project that we're going to be working on in class. Go into Photo Gallery 1 and you're going to save this page as index.html. Now you can save it as an HTML file or a web page 2 different ways. By default, if you were to save something in Notepad, it's going to save it as a TXT file, which is just a text document. It's not a web page. So we can either save it by typing in index and then putting .html on the end of it, or we can drop down the Save as Type box and choose hypertext markup language from there. Personally, I prefer just to type in the HTML, the .html. I think it's quicker. When we're finished, we're going to go ahead and save. I already have it saved here, so it's asking me if I want to replace it. So I click yes, and now my changes have been saved. So if I come back here and refresh, any changes that I've made will be seen. The only change that I made is I took the period off of this, my title. Now if I come back in here and say, now do you see me? And save it again, we can always resave something that's already saved with Control S. So Control S, and come back and refresh. Now you'll see the changes that have been made. I strongly recommend that when you are starting your study of web development, as we're doing right now, that once you save it, you open it up with your web browser. So I'm going to go into the folder, find it, and then open with your web browser, which I recommend Chrome. So if I were to come into Documents and go to, oh wait, it's on my desktop. Desktop, Web Development, and go in my photo gallery, I'm going to see the page here. Now you can double click on it and open it, but to make sure that we open it with Chrome, I like to right click, open with, and make sure that we choose Chrome. Okay, which I already had it open, so I didn't really need to, but I wanted to show you how to do it. Okay, so that's how you can open it with your browser, and so you can edit the page in Notepad and then open it with your browser at the same time. Okay, so that's how to create a basic web page and set up your HTML shell.